Welcome, welcome. I am Tonya Octave, a licensed clinical social worker and a holistic clinician and author and creator of the OCTAVES Method. And I am glad that you're here today. This particular meditation is the third and final installment of my body, mind, and spirit trilogy. We began by exploring spirit through ancient Kemetic wisdom. Then we moved into the body, guided by trauma-informed teachings and the book, The Body Keeps the Score. So today we're going to journey into the mind. This particular practice was because of the work of Sigmund Freud, known for his psychoanalytic skills and tools and techniques in working with the mind. Freud mapped out the hidden depths of the human mind, teaching us that our conscious thoughts, the things that we are aware of every single day, are really only tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies a vast, deep ocean of unconscious desires, memories, and patterns that shape our lives in ways that we rarely realize. Freud called dreams the royal road to the unconscious. So today, we're going to walk that road together. I also want to share something personal with you. Freud is one of the most misunderstood figures in the history of psychology. He's often dismissed, criticized, and reduced to that was back then type of theory. But I want to tell you, after 5 years of intense, dedicated study to his original writings and teachings, reading his words, sitting with his ideas, and watching them come alive in the lives of my clients, I've come to see his work in a profoundly different light. Now, I don't come as a Freudian blindly. I come as a student who has done the work. There are many valid critiques of his theory, and I hold those critiques with respect. But this practice is not about being critical. It's about being discerning. It is about taking what is powerful, what is true, what is healing, and leave the rest. And what I have found again and again in the counseling room and in my own inner life is that Freud's map of the unconscious mind is probably one of the most useful tools that I've ever been given. So I want to say with deep sincerity, thank you, Sigmund Freud, because of your courage to go where no one had gone before, into the hidden depths of the human mind. I was just able to do the type of work that I'm able to do now in 2026. And whoa, this is just beautiful, beautiful work. So thank you, Sigmund Freud. Now, let me give my disclaimer. This meditation is for educational support and can be used as a supportive resource or supportive tool. It is not a substitute for professional therapy, for medical treatment, or if you're in a crisis. So, if you're experiencing a mental health emergency, please reach out to a qualified professional. Go to your nearest emergency room, or you can simply dial 988 if you're in the United States. I will also be putting some resources in the description. This particular practice is designed to be gentle. You are in control, and at any point, if a sensation or an image just feels a little too much, you have full permission to open your eyes, look around where you're at in your surroundings, or just simply stop the audio. Remember, you are the master of your own mind. Before we begin our practice, I want to take a moment to tell you about some of the healing frequencies that you will be experiencing during this meditation. So beneath my voice, you will hear a gentle ambient sound. That is the Schumann's resonance. That's Earth's own electromagnetic heartbeat vibrating at 7.83 hertz. Now, this is not a manufactured sound. It is a natural resonance frequency of the space between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. And it has been present on this planet for billions of years. So, every living human being on Earth evolved in the presence of this frequency. Wow! Your body knows it. Oh, and those cells, they're going to recognize it. So at 7.83 hertz, this frequency sits at the threshold of the theta and alpha brain waves, the exact states of deep relaxation, subconscious access, and nervous system restoration. And this practice is designed to guide you into today. And as we move through the meditations, the frequencies will shift to support each phase of our journey into the mind. As we begin to descend beneath the surface of the conscious thought, you will be held at 432 hertz. That is known as the miracle tone, associated with mental clarity and the release of anxiety and our rigid defense mechanisms. And as we enter into the deep dreamscape of the unconscious, the frequency will shift to 852 hertz. Now, that is a tone that supports awakening intuition, seeing through illusions, and accepting that deep inner truth. And as we then integrate this healing through the OCTAVES method, you will be supported at 639 hertz. And that is the frequency of harmonious connection, people, helping to integrate the fragmented parts of the psyche. You know, these frequencies are not a distraction. They're a support. They are working with your nervous system and your mind's own intelligence to just create the optimal conditions for insight and healing. So, if you're wearing headphones, you will receive the fullest benefit. And if you're listening through a speaker, you will experience, some deeply nourishing healing as well. So I want to invite you to set up your listening space, but with intention this time. You want a quiet space, somewhere private where you will not be interrupted give yourself at least an hour. You can dim the lights if they're available to you. You can put on a non-toxic, hopefully organic candle. A warm, steady flame is really a beautiful anchor for the mind. And if you enjoy things like essential oils or incense, go on, put on some lavender, some frankincense, or even some sandalwood. Those are very beautiful companions for this type of deep inner work. They'll signal to your brain that it is now time to shift from that doing into being. And then you can also choose to lie down, or you might sit in a comfortable chair, just making for sure that your back is well supported. There's really not going to be a right or wrong way to receive this practice. It's more about you just simply allowing yourself to be held. That being said, let's take a couple of breaths, breathing in. Just connecting to the body in the space where we're at. And an exhale, slow and gentle exhale. Another breath in, and as we breathe in, you're going to allow your belly to expand to full capacity. And then a release, exhaling, contracting your abdomen back towards your spine. And then repeat this affirmation silently to yourself with your inhale breath. I give myself permission to rest. And exhale. I give my unconscious permission to speak with that inhale breath. And exhale. Inhale, I am safe to explore the depths of who I am. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. And with your next inhale breath, I give myself permission to rest. Exhale. Inhale, I give myself permission to speak unconsciously. exhale. Inhale, I am safe to explore the depths of who I am. And as you continue to breathe, you hear moments of silence just for you to connect to the inner breath and inner truth. A few moments of silence. Imagine your mind as a vast, magnificent iceberg floating in a calm midnight ocean. Right now, your awareness is resting at the very top of the iceberg, above the water. This is your conscious mind. This is the part of you that makes the to-do list, that worries about tomorrow, that analyzes, plans, and judges. It is the part of you that works so hard to keep everything organized and safe. Take a moment to acknowledge this part of your mind. Oh, it has worked tirelessly. But right now, it does not need to work. Right now, it can rest. We're going to begin a gentle descent. We're not just relaxing the muscles of the body. We are relaxing the grip of the mind. Imagine that you are slowly sinking down just below the surface of the water. This is the preconscious mind. The water here is cool and clear. There is the space where memories float just out of reach, where thoughts drift like leaves on a slow-moving stream. In psychoanalysis, this is a practice called free association. It is the practice of simply letting your mind speak without censoring, without judging, without trying to make it make sense. And for the next few moments, I invite you to this practice. And so as you rest here, just below the surface, simply watch whatever thoughts, images, or feelings float into your awareness. Do not try to hold on to them. Do not try to push them away. Just watch them drift by. If your inner critic, the part that Freud called the superego, tries to step in and say, "You shouldn't be doing that," or "You're doing this wrong," simply thank it for trying to protect you and gently ask it to step aside. Just watch. Just breathe. Just let the mind be free. Notice how it feels to simply observe your mind without having to control it. You are safe here. You are held by the water. And a few moments of silence to fully absorb all the healing. We are going deeper now, sinking further down the iceberg into the vast, dark, beautiful depths of the ocean. This is the unconscious mind. Freud believed that the unconscious speaks to us in symbols and metaphors and dreams. He called dreams the royal road to the unconscious. So I invite you now to step onto that road. Let your mind drift into a waking dream. Imagine you are walking down a long, softly lit hallway. Oh, the air is warm and smells faintly of cold paper and blooming flowers. At the end of the hallway, you come to a grand house. This is the house of your own psyche. You step in and you find yourself standing before 3 distinct rooms. You open the door of the first room. This is the room of rules. The room and the walls are lined with clocks ticking and talking and ticking and talking loudly. There are mirrors everywhere reflecting your every move. The air feels cold, rigid, and heavy with expectation. This is the domain of the superego, the internalized voice of society, of parents, of every should or must you've ever been taught. It is the harsh inner critic that demands perfection. Take a breath here. Look around this room. Acknowledge how much energy it takes to live in a room like this. And then realize something profound. You don't have to live here. You can visit. You can take the wisdom of discipline, but you don't have to let this room control your house. So, you gently close the door. Staying connected to the breath. You walk to the second room, open the door. This is not a room at all. It is a wild, overgrown garden. The colors are impossibly vibrant. The air is thick with the scent of earth and rain. There is a warm, plushing energy here, so raw, so pulsating, that the energy is felt in every cell of your body, wild, untamed, and deeply alive. This is the domain of the id, the seat of your primal desires, your deepest passions, your unedited emotions. And for a long time, you may have been taught to fear this garden, to pave over it, to lock the door. But as you stand here now, you realize that this garden is the source of your vitality. It is your creativity. It is your life force. You don't need to fear it. You only need to tend to it with respect. And so you take a deep breath of the rich, wild air, and then you gently close the door. Staying connected to the breath. Finally, you step into the third room, the center hall. The room is perfectly balanced. It is warm and comfortable and bathed in a soft golden light. There's a comfortable chair in the center of the room, and you sit down. This is the domain of the ego, the mediator, the conscious self. From the chair, you can hear tickling clocks in the superego. You can smell the wild earth of the id, but you are not overwhelmed by either. You are in the center. You are the master of your own house. And as you sit in the center room, you notice a window. You look out and you see a path winding through the woods outside. You recognize this path. It is a loop. It is the same path that you've walked 100 times before. In psychoanalysis, they call this repetition compulsion, the unconscious drive to repeat the same painful patterns, the same relationships, the same conflicts, hoping that this time the ending will be different. And so you watch yourself walking that loop over and over, round and round. But because you are sitting in the center hall, because you are observing from a place of deep, grounded awareness, something shifts. Insight is the light that dissolves the shadow. You suddenly understand why you have been walking that loop. You see the old wound that was trying to heal itself. You see the younger version of you that was trying to find safety. And in this moment of profound self-compassion, the loop breaks. The path straightens out. It opens up into a wide, sunlit meadow. You do not have to repeat the past anymore. You are free to walk forward. And now a few moments of silence. As we begin to integrate these deep unconscious insights, we turn to the OCTAVES Method, a holistic plan of bringing all the parts of your mind, the spirit, even the body, back into harmony. And so O is for observation, your spiritual health. Notice the quiet awareness within you right now. You have just traveled into the deepest rooms of your own mind, and you came back. You witnessed yourself, your inner critic, your wild energy, your looping patterns, and you didn't run. You stayed. You watched. And in that watching, something profound happened. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. Imagine that awareness as a soft, golden light at the center of your chest. It has always been there, even as a child. Perhaps you remember a moment of pure stillness, sitting outside on a summer afternoon, watching clouds just drift by, feeling for just a moment that everything was exactly as it should be. That light was there then. It is here now and never left. It is the part of you that is connected to something larger than your ego. Larger than the unconscious, larger than any story that you've ever been told about yourself. So rest. Rest in that light for a moment. Then there is C for compassion, your ego health. You have just met the harshest judge in your inner world, the superego, and you have met the wildest, most untamed part of yourself, the id. And now I want to ask you to do something that may feel unfamiliar. I want you to offer compassion to both of them. Yes, compassion to the id, and most definitely compassion to the superego. Think back to a time when you were very young, perhaps 5, maybe 6. Imagine a child sitting in a small chair, trying so hard to be good enough, to follow all the rules, to earn love and approval. The child learned to build the room of rules because the world taught them that love was conditional. The child deserved so much more gentleness than they ever received. So imagine placing your hand on that child's shoulder. Feel the warmth of your own touch and say to them silently or out loud, "You were always enough. You were always worthy. You do not have to earn your place here." Let those words move through you like warm water, softening the walls of the room of rules from inside out. T for therapy, your therapeutic health. Acknowledge the immense courage it takes to look inward, to walk the royal road. Most people spend their entire lives running from the unconscious, filling every moment with noise and distraction and busyness, because the silence, oh, it feels too dangerous. You choose differently today. You choose to sit with yourself, to descend, to look. That is not a small thing. That is one of the bravest acts a human being can perform. Healing the mind is not passive. It is an active, ongoing, courageous commitment to knowing yourself more deeply. You're not broken. You are not beyond repair. You are a person in the beautifully, sometimes painful, always worthwhile process of becoming more fully yourself. A, for animals and playfulness. Oh, your hormonal health. You see, the mind, when it's been doing deep work, needs to remember how to play. Think of a child, perhaps yourself as a child, when before the room of rules was built. Running bare feet through the grass, laughing at nothing in particular, completely absorbed in the pure joy of being alive. There is no past to regret and no future to fear. There was only the warm ground beneath your feet and the wide sky above your head. So imagine a playful husky bouncing towards you across the same field. The tail is wagging with a joy so complete it shakes its entire body. Feel yourself laughing. Feel the lightness of it. your hormonal health, the system responsible for releasing oxytocin, your dopamine, your serotonin responds to joy and play just as powerfully as it responds to stress. Play is not frivolous. Play is medicine. So give yourself permission right now to be light and free. V is for Victos, your nutritional health. Your brain has done extraordinary work. The prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, the amygdala, all of these structures have been active, processing imagery, emotion, memory, and insight. And like any organ that works hard, the brain needs to be nourished. Imagine sitting down to a table filled with vibrant, colorful, life-giving foods, deep greens and rich purples, golden yellows and warm reds, foods that come from earth, grown in sunlight and rain. And as you imagine eating this meal, feel the nourishment moving through you, not just into your body, but into your mind. Every time you choose to feed yourself with care and intention, you are sending a message to the deepest parts of yourself. I am worthy of taking care of me. I am worth nourishment. My healing matters. Let those messages land. E is for exercise, your physical health. When the unconscious mind releases an old pattern, an old memory, an old wound, the energy of that release needs to go somewhere. The body is the vessel. Movement is the channel. Imagine yourself rising from your chair in the center hall and stepping outside into the sunlit meadow where the looping path has finally straightened. Feel your feet on the warm earth. Feel your arms swinging freely at the sides. Feel the sun on your face. Now, you don't need to run a marathon. You don't need to push or strain. Simply move. A walk, a gentle stretch, a slow dance in the kitchen tells the nervous system that the danger has passed, that the insight has been integrated, and that the body is free to release what the mind has let go. Movement is not separate from healing. It is movement that is healing. Now, S for socialize, your relational health. Freud understood that Our earliest relationships with our parents, our caregivers, our first loves become the templates through which we experience every relationship that follows. This repetition compulsion, at its core, a relational wound. We keep choosing the same people, the same dynamics, the same ending, because somewhere in the unconscious, we are still trying to heal the original story. But you have broken the loop today. And in the space where the loop used to be, there is now room for something new. So imagine the people in your life who have shown up with consistency, with warmth, with genuine care. Perhaps a friend who has always answered the phone. Perhaps a mentor who you believed in you before you believed in yourself. Perhaps a moment of unexpected kindness from a stranger. You see, these connections, they're not accidents. They are the unconscious mind finally beginning to choose differently. Imagine opening your arms up to these connections. Imagine allowing yourself to be truly seen, not the performed version of you, not the version that lives in the room of rules, but the real, complex, beautiful, authentic, whole version of you that has just walked this royal road and come back with wisdom. You deserve to be loved in your wholeness, and you are ready to receive it. Feel all 7 notes of the OCTAVES method resonating within you simultaneously. Observation, compassion, therapy, animals and playfulness, victuals, exercise, and socialize. Like 7 strings on a single instrument, vibrating together in perfect harmony. This is what whole person healing sounds like. This is what it feels like to be fully, consciously, and so beautifully alive. And a few moments of silence to allow this to soak in. It's time to begin our ascent. We're going to slowly travel back up the iceberg from the deep ocean of the unconscious through the cool waters of the preconscious and back to the surface of the waking world. But you are not leaving your insights behind. You are bringing them with you into the light. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. With each number, you will feel more awake, more grounded, and more deeply at peace with your own mind. 1, Feel the physical weight of the body resting on the surface beneath you. 2, becoming aware of the room around you, the temperature of the air on your skin. 3, take a deep, energizing breath, filling the oxygen. Wake up the mind and wake up your muscles. 4, wiggle your fingers and your toes, feeling completely present, completely whole. And 5, whenever you are ready, gently opening your eyes, and welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Take a moment to look around at the room around you. Notice that you were here, that you were present, and you are safe. Thank you for trusting me to guide you down this royal road today, exploring the depths of your mind in a profound way, doing profound work. You don't have to do it alone. If you found that this meditation was helpful and you're interested in exploring this work deeper, I would be honored to support you. I offer psychotherapy for residents of California and Nevada, and holistic coaching and clinical hypnosis to clients worldwide. So you can always schedule a free 15-minute consultation. The link is in the description. And you can also visit my website, TonyaOctave-LCSW.com. Please take your time in getting up, maybe grab a glass of water, and be gentle with yourself as you move throughout the rest of your day. Thank you for being part of this beautiful experience with me, and may you be well. Thank you.